Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 161 of Peace Talk. This is the Peace Dealer. Shout out to those of you in the chat, Supreme Gold Energy, Gabriel. I think I saw somebody joined God Squad earlier. But as y'all are coming in, whether you watching this live or the replay, first of all, Happy New Year. Thank you guys for joining us again. And thankfully, we get to start the new year off with really cool episode. I like to see this as building lore, which we'll see. But other than that, yeah, I'd like to welcome a very special guest for today, Queen Jossie.
Hello, how are you guys?
What it do, what it is.
Happy New Year.
Where are you at for anyone that's curious?
Right now, I'm in LA. I'm actually in my boyfriend's house, just chilling.
Okay.
And I'm very excited to be here. I was kind of nervous to do any kind of like live stream, but I'm glad I'm doing this. It's great. It's a great way.
Yes. I'm glad you're challenging yourself too.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I
You
really
bet.
appreciate it. When you say his house, is that the house that you did the Friendsgiving at?
Yeah, you came here for sure in Sherman Oaks for Friendsgiving.
Yeah, that's
So there's a lot of rooms in the house. You could just hide anywhere.
okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah. Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone in the chat.
Oh, thank you. And shout out to everyone watching. I
Right.
actually shared it on Twitter.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's good.
Maybe they'll catch on and click on it.
Oh yeah. I mean, regardless whether live or the replay, there's so much I wanted to say right now, but yeah, expect things to go a little bit over the place as we'll reveal soon. The reason why I don't want to say too much is I kind of want people in the comments to guess what you think her rising sign is and her sun sign. Normally I'll just ask that in the beginning, but I'm gonna have people guess first.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Is there a way I could see the comments?
So if you look at the left side, you'll be able to see it. And if you don't, then you can just pull up the video. I can send you the link to
Oh,
it.
I'm starting to see. Okay, I see the comments. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Hi everyone. Now, like I see everything now.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, okay. She kind of gave away a little bit of that, but
how is everyone feeling? That's so cool. They're all guessing.
right. I'm sure some people got it right so far, but before we reveal that, yeah, there's so much I want to ask you because you definitely have been slaying. You've been slaying for sure, slaying every day. I wanted to say something attached to it, but it would give away your sun sign. So that's why I was just like, I'm gonna give it away.
I know. They're having some interesting guesses.
Yeah. Some people got it right too. And so, you said you're in the West Coast. You're in LA. That's like 4 hours away. Good day trip. How long? Oh, you're actually from there, right?
Yeah, born and raised in downtown LA.
So how do you feel about that as someone born and raised there with people who like move there or moving out from there?
Well, just the people that don't know me, my family's Guatemalan, so we're Latinos. So I grew up in a very Hispanic community in downtown LA, which is like near Koreatown. There's a lot of Latinos. So we grew up in a fast life full of different cultures. We have Koreans, Mexicans, white, black. I just love it because we were always a melting pot. But as I grew up, obviously you see people that fly in and claim they are from LA, but they're not from LA.
Right.
And being from LA, I feel like you learn to hustle and really stay humble. But the people that fly in pretty much act bougie. And I'm like, okay, then it's not the real experience. I am an influencer, and I do experience a lot of people that like think everything's like glitz and glam, which we could make it seem that way. That's what LA is for. But behind the scenes and the real LA is diverse, full of different cultures.
See, that's amazing to hear because I've never really heard it like that before. I used to live in Koreatown, 2014, off of Normandy and Wilshire for a few months, but I did kind of like that feel at least, and I appreciate that too because like 2014 versus now, which I feel like would be a good question for you to answer. Like when I was there, like there were homeless people out there and there were like certain bad parts, but it looks like so much crazier now. And how do
Yeah,
you feel about that being from there and like seeing how basically other people came and crapped
that's
on
what
your
I'm saying. LA is full of like there's a lot of real environments that are not as safe as you would think. I sometimes go to other cities. I'm like, damn, their downtown looks way fancier. We have a lot of homeless people, and it's not the most safe as of recent.
yeah.
And I'm used to that. Actually, that's why I think I'm a introvert. But when I'm out like doing my thing, we do like to dress up and think people always think, oh, people in LA are just like, you know, they I feel like people mock it a lot. Or like people in LA are so fake, blah blah blah. No, people that are usually not from here are the ones that are always putting up a front. But again, there
That's
are obviously other nicer areas. You could always drive out to the beach or go for a hike, somehow get out of the chaotic city life, you know.
yeah.
So I disassociate a lot.
No, it's really good to clear up because there really is that impression. Like there's that aesthetic to LA and like, yeah, if you didn't, I really, I definitely didn't think about that, but that makes so much sense too, because it's always people kind of traveling to or definitely weren't there since birth. But all right, let's see who got it right so far. Because certain people definitely got it right. We got Sag Sun for sure,
I love,
Leo Rising.
I love that they're guessing all these things and like interesting.
Oh
Oh,
wait, those are the only ones that got it. Okay, there we go. And I love how they got it back to back,
yeah.
one
It's
on top of the other.
a lot of people are saying Pisces. Probably my
Right.
Pisces rising is like rubbing off on me.
That's wild. And it's okay, and the moon too. So, um,
My moon is interesting. I love my moon.
right, yep. She's Team Gemini, y'all. Whoop whoop. Angel gang. That's what's up. So, I mean, that's what I was gonna say. Like, one thing about the Sag is y'all definitely slay every day. It's kind of inspiring, intimidating, but inspiring. Like you do this every day. But how do you feel like having your sun opposite your moon? Do you kind of like fight yourself every day? Like, is your Gemini always wanting to think this with the Sag?
Well, I actually learned this thanks to you.
Oh,
I was born under a full moon. I'm a Sagittarius sun with a Gemini moon, and we had that this year actually, which was beautiful.
yeah.
Um, I think it's great because as a Sagittarius, I'm very bold and I want to do things big and like all this confidence comes in because Jupitarian energy wants to take up over the world. And my Gemini is thinking 1,000 things a day. So it's hard to make a decision. But when I do, I go all out.
Right.
I
Okay.
love that my mind is always like multitasking. I expect everybody to be on the same level, and I've learned that not everybody's thinking.
Yeah. Oh, I feel you on that. That's been quite the lesson for sure.
And my Leo rising, I am a Leo rising.
Right.
It's just I don't know, like we are the sun.
That's why I had to start with Queen Josie because
Oh,
I
I love
realized,
it.
yeah,
And I've learned all of these things to you, so thank you.
I appreciate y'all for living it, because you show us how it works, and it's really magical. But I never really used to take royal. I used to scoff at royalty, like kings and queens. I never really embraced that, and it's really astrology that helped me do that because you can kind of see it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can definitely see the Leo rising.
No.
And I started to notice that, the rising sign gives you some resemblance to the sun sign. So, have some people said mention you look like you have a resemblance to J-Lo or other Leos?
The Leos, yes. It's a crazy combination. I think it's a little intense. So I've learned to like kind of be quiet a little bit thanks to my Mercury Scorpio. I
Word.
just like take it all in and before I say anything bold.
I like how you said that. Do you be triggering a lot of people?
Yes. Yeah, especially growing up, it got me into a lot of trouble. But as I gotten older, I feel more zen about it, and I think that's because my Scorpio kicked in more. Like somebody says, does she have Taurus in her? Yes, my MC is Taurus.
Taurus MC. There we go.
Thanks to my Taurus, I feel like that anchors me a little bit.
Okay. Do you think it gives you like grounded goals or like
Yes.
accomplishments?
Yes, I feel like I love to enjoy like my routine, and even if it's simple, like waking up for a coffee and doing a simple that keeps my mind together.
Right.
Like the zen of it and the lifestyle that I want for myself. And that's very Taurus.
That's what's up.
Hmm.
You know what I like about Sagittarius? Y'all do it all. Like every Sagittarius I know, like you literally do everything. Like you, I'm not gonna say everything you do because we'll talk about it, but like,
Do a lot of things.
right? I really enjoy that. Like,
Yeah.
is multiple disciplines. Like you know how to shoot a gun, but you know how to wear a dress, and then you know how to like organize a party, and then
Yeah.
and I don't know. This is really amazing.
It's the Jupitarian energy.
Yeah, it's like
Mhm.
you. I don't know. I like to think of like Jamie Foxx that like acts and sings and dances and all
Mhm.
that. But it's
Is it
nice
because
to
we get
see
bored easily? Is something wrong with us?
what happened.
Do we get bored easily? We're just trying to think, like start new adventures all the time.
Yeah, and
Like
even
right
if you don't finish it, you get back to it.
No, I'm getting to a point in my life where it's like, okay, I want to buy property, but where am I going to live? Like, I don't even want to stay here for too long. Should I Airbnb it? I think of all these business ideas. I'm like, wait, I'm multitasking, but it's okay. I feel like eventually I want to live out of the country because, as you know, I'm always traveling.
Right. Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask too. I was gonna ask like where have you traveled, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to pull out that card yet. The
I
travel
was
card.
like in a long, I just came back from Costa Rica. I celebrated my birthday there. We were there for like 6, 7 days with my boyfriend. And then prior to that, I was in Bali. And then we were in Europe. And then we were fucking Puerto Rico, Mexico. It was just doing a lot, but I love it.
No, I that's what's up. I mean that's dope. Like just to be able to pick up and just like be free and just kind of go different places. Um,
That's so funny. Somebody said I'm a Sag rising and I'm a graphic designer and a neuropath. That's a fact.
yeah, that's what's up.
That's cool. We need to have different hobbies.
Is there and the cool thing is I feel like you've traveled enough to where it's like the dope spots to travel to, right? And you
Yeah,
know
I guess
some
I'll
of these
make the little girl in me happy. Mind you, I feel like even if it's not like out the country, I do like to reconnect and get out of town, go do a little road trip or do something to like reset my energy. We do live in a chaotic city where your energy's pulled left and right. So I do feel like resetting my energy is very important. I love being alone. I could spend days alone and then come back out and be the big energy,
Hmm.
but I need to be resetting all the time.
And then on that note, because you truly represent so much fire, and these bitches be hating on fire. I noticed. Like, what's that like? Like, is it a lot? Is it a lot exaggerated? I've noticed fire sign women say this a lot too, as far as like seeing people either envious or jealous.
You know,
There we
well, like
go.
let me just break. It's crazy because like growing up, I thought it was just like bullying, bullying, bullying. So I was hurt. My emotions were hurt a lot when I was younger. Went through a lot of bullying, elementary, middle school, high school, you name it. But I was always confident. So yeah,
Mm.
like I would cry, but like come out always confident, and that would kill them.
That's deep.
I'm just like, dude, I used to love Tinkerbell so bad, right? So I used to hang out and like dress up all little girly girl. show up in my little tinker, and girls would like bully me, whatever. But I'm like, but at least I look cute. It was always my Leo rising. At least I look cute.
Yeah.
Like, what are they eating on? Like, it was just the little thing. But my mom, I get this from my mom. She's a Libra with an Aries
Oh,
rising.
nice.
An Aries.
Okay.
But my mom always told me, like, fuck what they say, focus on yourself, ignore them, and they're gonna get even more mad. And it's Koreatown, it's downtown LA. She's
Right.
teaching me to be tough, ignore everybody. It wasn't the best neighborhood. There's always like gangsters. There was a lot of danger around me. Like
Right.
it's not a safe area. So my mom was like, ignore everyone, focus on yourself. Ignore everyone. And that has always been my train of thought. Ignore everything. And so even now I tell my boyfriend, I don't care what they say. He's always like, you should care. I'm like, no, I shouldn't because I'm focused on myself. I know I have a good heart.
Yeah.
I know I'm a good person. And if I haven't done anything, and if I don't know them money, if I haven't done anything to them, I'm focused. And that goes to the same thing with being online, having a social presence online. You can't be focused on all the negative. You got to
Yeah.
focus on yourself, focus on your craft, focus on your goal. Keep going. We are in a fucking marathon here. And I know it sounds like, okay, like what I come from a background with it, either we focus and get out of the fucking wherever we're at, or we're gonna lose. We couldn't lose. I couldn't afford to lose. So I'm still in the same position now, but with different struggles every time. People think the struggles are gonna go away, but they're just gonna become different struggles.
That's
And as you say all the time, new levels bring new devils.
true that.
So you could be in a new stage in life, but it's new struggles, you know? So still stay focused, you know? And my mom taught me that, so I love her for that.
I love how confident Leo is. Like everyone I ever see with that energy, it catches me off guard because it's like y'all, it's not too confident, but it's like confident. Like my sister sings really well, and like I've never like she's a very like I've always seen her very like meek and like, not like weak or shallow, but like, not trying to be
Mm-hmm.
bodacious. But when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to singing, because she has Venus and Leo, like she has this confidence that comes out. Like I've never, ever, ever heard her like not confident about it. She'll know that y'all know y'all are like the best in the room or like the hottest. It's just this
Especially
confidence.
the placement Venus in Leo. I love Venus and Leo because they're not afraid to show their style. They
Yeah.
walk around, they're iconic with their love, with their style, and the way they present themselves. And I love that. One of the placements that I love is I don't have Venus and Leo, but when I see a Venus and Leo, I'm like, nice.
It's strong. It's very pronounced.
Mhm.
You're right.
Mhm. So, what I do want to say is some of the people on the comments were mentioning that I know Leos are confident, but I also know we're emotional. We're very sensitive. So yes, I would cry a lot. Like I have a sister, she's a Leo sun,
Okay.
and she's always clowning.
Oh.
She's like, "You're always crying." I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? I am because my Mars is in Cancer."
Okay, so thank you for answering that because I've always had a question mark about that, but I didn't think does Mars make you like angry cry?
It's crazy.
Oh, that's what's up.
I'm like, it's crazy. No, I really cry, but it's like one of
Like
the
break shit when you cry or just like angry cry?
yeah, I take every breakdown as a breakthrough.
Okay, that's
Like,
what's up.
oh,
That's
okay,
what's
I'm going through it, but I'm good. I'm good. And I'll pump myself back up. Like there's no time. It's like they always say like your Mars is how you take action, right?
up. Mhm.
So I believe I'm getting to a stage where I'm more emotionally intelligent. So I'm
Right.
taking very smart decisions
That's what's
and I just don't let it affect other things I have going on. So it's very important for me to control my emotions, which makes me think a lot. So I think about my emotions because I'm a Gemini moon. My Gemini moon wants to think the logical way that things should go. And I always joke around, I'm like, this is psycho. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
a Gemini moon likes to think about their feelings
Yeah,
and
that's
like
true.
compartmentalize. And then I'll still understand what's going on and I'll be like, okay, we can
Yeah.
move on. It's weird to explain. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, you're teaching me a lot though. So it's like you think about your feelings, but then there's still Mars that goes do you sometimes feel stuck if like it's out your comfort zone or like
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? I'm the worst person to come to. Like, if you're going through it, I'll basically be that person, like, come on, get over it. You can't be crying anymore. Like, let's look at the by the way, I'm a Sag sun, so I'm like, let's look at the positive. You have this, so you can't be stuck on that. Come on, let's go over it. And some people can't because they're super in their mode, like, no, I'm in broken, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, you're not gonna get out of that if you don't stop thinking of it. So I'm like the hardcore, like, you want motivation, I'll give it to you, but stop fucking crying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've learned actually, and my boyfriend is the opposite. He's trying to make me tap into my emotions.
Right.
Which has been the real challenge because I'm so used to like closing the book, keeping on, keep moving. And he's like, you're not gonna go about life moving like that. I'm like, well, I have.
I like how both of you like like your compatibility challenges the hell out of each other. It's
Yeah,
very,
he's a Capricorn, Pisces rising, and Pisces moon.
and
With
Saturn, I think too, right?
Huh?
Yeah. And Saturn and Pisces, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's wow, that's incredible.
Yes,
It's
I don't know. He doesn't.
and then normally I really love that dynamic because normally the earth and the water will be feminine for a woman, and then the fire and air is usually masculine for the man. So like you're still very, a woman, and he's still very a man. So like, how do those dynamics like play out? Which is really dope. Because he has a really kind aura too. When I met him, it was very inviting. It was very like,
Yes, I love that about him.
very peaceful.
His energy. It makes me feel at home. I feel safe talking about my emotions. Somebody said you struggle communicating your emotions. Yes, that was a big struggle growing up. Maybe because, like I said, my mom taught me to like focus on yourself and get over it. And that's like the same mentality I kept for a long time. So this is the first time after my Saturn return to really understand myself. Making myself happy has been a priority for the last 2 years. And I feel like that's why now I feel like I could explain myself to someone I trust.
Right.
Has been him, and he's been very patient. So I really respect him for that, and I love that for me.
That's also really, I forgot to mention that I really love that you and your mom were both born on a full moon.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
She reminds me of Cardi B, but in Latino.
I was about to say, like, that was the first thought, like, oh shit, she has Cardi B's energy. That's what's up. Wow. Yeah, they're really hard to like be mad at for long because like, yeah.
She's mad because she's mad, and she gets really mad, like very mad. But then she's cool and she's protective and she takes care of you. But she's really mad. It's like, okay, I can't be mad at her. She's still a good person,
Right.
Like I always have her back.
I love that. That's amazing. So, what inspired your store, Jossies Style? How did you like create that, and when did you start doing that?
Right. So Jossies Style is a lifestyle brand. I started in 2019, right before the pandemic.
That's when Jupiter was in Sagittarius. That's amazing.
Oh, great. Yeah. So I feel like, just so people know a background about me, I used to be in pageants. I used to be a TV host, and I worked in TV for a long time growing up when I was very, very young. So as a young girl, they would teach us how to like have clean diets to look good, or how to have a tiny waist. So I was waist training since 16 years old, and it was like a key factor for us, like waist training, taking care. My mom was always doing diets or like detox are a big thing. So I decided to like incorporate that in my business because I always wanted to be a business owner of some kind. I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always sold things here and there, but I was like, what's going to be my brand? So of course I decided to focus on this lifestyle brand. Now I have activewear. We're going to add candles this year for like your home to zen out. But it started with the waist training because at the time I was working out a lot and I would get a lot of questions about my routine online. A lot of girls like to know what I do. So I'm like, might as well make a product that they're going to relate to me because I'm always using it. And I did. I Googled, I searched how to start this manufacturing, and I went from zero to starting my own brand. And they're actually from Colombia. So I got them manufactured in Colombia with my brand. This is all by myself. Like I'm like in my house doing my research. From my bedroom doing product shots, and like started my online.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, I have a little folder full of the story to it because a lot of people just see the glitz and glam on Instagram because I started promoting on Instagram. All you see is like pictures, but the pictures were like, I'm like modeling in my bedroom and making sure I look cute. So anyways, it grew really quick. I sold out the first like collection I did. I started selling, and eventually I ended up adding more like waist trainers, with sweatbands, booty bands, and activewear. So it was a combination of like all the things you need in a gym. And then the pandemic hit, and then the manufacturers couldn't send me anything. And then I just started like scrambling around trying to see where else I could get. I would try to get them from like Mexico, Miami. Like here I am trying to figure out how I'm going to get my brand. And
Right.
it's when I started selling the most because girls were at home trying to work out and stay skinny.
Oh,
But the hustle paid off. So
that's a
Jossies Style became like the lifestyle brand, and this year I want to expand into more of a spiritual, zenning part of the collection. So it
okay.
starts with candles, incense, because that's part of my lifestyle. I come home, and whenever I'm having an anxiety attack, I need to turn on my little candle, just like zen out, smell the air, and feel good in my house. Incense, sage, and it comes a lot from my Latino background. My
Yeah.
mom and my grandma love to sage the house. It's like a daily thing. So now I have that. My mom is like, "You're just like your grandma. You guys are always saging the house." I'm like, "Yes, it helps my spirit." And so now girls want to know where I get those things. So now I'm going to sell them too.
Nice. Okay. I mean, I mean, just props to branding yourself, but also being able to adapt during those periods. I didn't know that story about that, which is really cool. Um
Yeah, I
and
think I don't talk much about like the background of the stories of how I get a brand.
yeah,
Honestly, yeah, I should
which
talk about
I feel is cool because just like most markets, there's a lot of competition with people who have like other like stuff and bands, but like
that.
at least not only being able to, I don't want to say stick out, but uh the background you just shared, at least I feel,
Yeah,
is what keeps that longevity or
yeah.
what's
At the time when I started it, it was pretty scary because I was losing your manufacturer, your
right.
money invested. Some people still owe me money. I never got that back. So you start learning the ins and outs on how to keep your inventory and just making sure everybody's happy, customer service. And on top of that, you are the representation of your brand. So girls want to look like you, man, and make sure you're working out. So I did that for the last 2 years. And I think just like last year, 2022, I had like a little mental ego death. And I even questioned myself, is this something I want to keep doing? Because it's a lot. So I come to a conclusion like, yes, one of the visions I had for myself is like, no matter what, women are always going to need something to keep them young, to keep them fresh, to feel beautiful. But also, you need things to make you feel at peace,
Mhm.
to, to just stay calm. Those are lifestyle things that will carry on, even when I'm old and I'm a grandma. Like, those are things you share with all kinds of women, older women, young girls. So I like that. I love that you get to share the knowledge. I hang around with a lot of young girls here at the house. They're like
Mhm.
TikTokers and this. So when I talk to the younger girls, I'm like, damn, that used to be me. And I keep talking to them. Now I'm realizing, okay, I'm like the tia in the group right now. Like I'm starting to have like the wisdom to share. So I want to keep adding more things to keep sharing. Like these are the tricks to like, do this and do that. It helps.
So um we're gonna take this to a deeper level now,
Mhm.
because I'm so grateful for you because you confirmed a theory that I had about your Saturn return. For people born 91, 92, 93, Saturn and Aquarius, I've always felt, out of all of us with like Pluto and Scorpio, that's the strongest one, but it's also like the one that got the short end of the stick. And you have Saturn in Aquarius, which is like this karma of the collective, and then it's squaring Pluto with the taboo of society telling you what you can't do, this is right and wrong. So the analogy that I had for that is something like OnlyFans, where it's like you have that taboo, and it's not
Mhm.
specific to your generation or your year, but that example is the example of someone who would make a killing off of that, and that dilemma of who is it for others to tell me it's right or wrong. And so what you kind of like confirmed for me or broke through in the thought was you kind of showed, and I'm going to ask you questions around this, but like you kind of showed the difference of where you can say OnlyFans is Pluto and Scorpio, which is more underground, and then Saturn Aquarius could be something like Playboy, which is like more official, right? So the question that I'm really wanting to ask, because as you're completing your Saturn return, I feel like you, more than most other people, have such a wise understanding of this as far as, you know, sex work or modeling, and like what that perspective is being at your age, because you've heard all sorts of stuff from it, from older people, younger men, older women, and what's the experience like as far as like what people do wrong, what people do right. I feel like your experience, I'm so sorry to interrupt. I feel like your experience like is gonna really influence or mold a lot of people moving forward, because there's so much stigma against it. But you know,
Yeah, definitely. Well, yes, I just turned 30 for you guys who are just in here. Um, yeah, so I just turned 30 and I realized, wow, like I'm just literally having a whole epiphany about my life. I'm like, I have done the TV, I have done the modeling, I've done it in English and Spanish. I used to work for Univision
right?
nationwide and sometimes international. So people have known my name and they're like, I can't believe she's on Playboy now and she used to be this. And I feel like Playboy is a very iconic brand, by
It's
the way,
very legit.
and it's fucking amazing, and it's been revolutionary throughout time. It goes back in the day in the 1950s. Actually, I watched a documentary. I fucking love it. And so the knowledge that I have from both the American society and the Latino society, it's two different worlds. We live in two different dimensions. Americans love it. Latinos see it as, oh my gosh, she's a whore.
Okay.
But I'm not. I've never shown my coochie online. Nobody.
Right. Okay. So you've never sold nudes or anything like that?
No. I've
Okay.
never
Wait,
shown
wait, wait.
What I love about doing photo shoots and having Playboy, it's been one of the classiest editorials, and it's a platform where you could be sexy
Right.
and you could show as much as you want. So yes, I have done very sexy shoots. I've done painting. I've been on billboards where there's nothing but paint on me.
Right.
And so like these are legit contracts. There's a big artist named Retina that was actually Justin Bieber's his album cover artist. We did a billboard here on Sunset Boulevard when I was 23 years old, and I was just like literally naked and with painting, but you can't see anything. Obviously, it's like art, and I feel like when you do shit like that, it's art, and I embrace myself as art in that moment because I'm part of an art. You know what I mean? Art.
And I mean, a lot art is very subjective, interpretive, so I get that, but I appreciate I get how someone can be like, oh, anything's art, you know what I'm saying? But I really do appreciate that push for professionalism and classiness. I really appreciate you made the distinction to show that, like, or mention that you don't really sell nudes and stuff like that, because when you mention these things, people just assume that you're selling pictures of your titties on OnlyFans for like $40, and you know what I'm saying.
And it's been very, very hard to show that to specifically my Latinos. So the older ones, the younger ones, the younger people are supportive of it because we're so used to seeing it online.
Exactly right.
So that's one of the main reasons I really don't care much about working in mainstream media because they will turn it into gossip, which they have in the past for me, and it just doesn't work for me. It makes me feel like they don't understand me, and no matter if I go and sit down, they're gonna criticize me.
Right.
But I know that the rest of the world, which everybody nowadays uses their phone, is online and they see it and they like it and they support it. If they don't support it, then they just don't follow it and it's fine. So again, and the younger generation, all the people that do support it, I think it's really cool because now there's so many more girls doing it in like OnlyFans or other platforms that there is now. So in a way, it's become like a norm.
Yeah. It's interesting the stigma behind it because a lot of people like to demonize it, but I don't see it as anything different than has been happening, as much as just, you know, new levels, new devils. And I want to kind of I kind of want to rephrase what I said, because I don't want to make it sound like if someone is out there selling naked pictures of themselves for money, like I don't I don't want to make it sound like they're like a horrible person because of that, as just far as the stigma that people get when you just mention it. But
Mhm.
I mean, I'm really, not that it's my business, but I'm really big on professionalism and authenticity. Like there's some people who you could just tell the difference, like who's doing it because it's their, they work it, you know what I'm saying, versus who just kind of wants to leech money off of people or some stuff.
And like I said, for example, I'm proud to be part of Playboy. So when I'm like an old little grandma, I'm gonna show my grandchildren like this is your grandma when she was younger. She did this for me. It's an honor. Other than that, the fact that there's people that have a bad stigma, I if they were to look for my pictures, they're not gonna find anything crazy. And if
Right.
I'm not haven't done anything that I'm like, okay, I'm embarrassed of it.
I feel like
Like
it's really
I said,
important.
we are basically like our own creating. We create our own reality at this point. So if I make that happen, then I'm proud of it. And
Right.
if you see it, good. I wanted you to see it.
I respect that. I respect that. That's dope. Because at least no one's playing victim that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, I
Yeah.
see.
And like also like when I was younger, just like it was such a thing. Like I don't know why people like demonize things when pop culture has been that, you know? And not only that, like I feel like for women too, we get to reinvent what we think is sexy or what we think is beautiful. We get to express ourselves
Yeah.
and we have the freedom to do that every day on our platforms.
Well, and okay, so that's the main part of the question that I wanted to ask too, because and I feel like y'all with Saturn and Aquarius probably had to deal with that the worst, maybe because you had the best success with this. But and I feel like I can't answer this question as a man, and this is why I'm asking. Given a platform like OnlyFans that is majority spent by men, right? Or an industry that's consumed a lot by men, what how do you move forward? It's almost as if like there's a power balance where it's like more and more women are having a lot more autonomy and freedom of expression and power to do that. So what's that, how do you deal more with men that feel entitled or feel like, oh, you should feel shame because you did this, or maybe you shouldn't have this much power doing this in a way? I hope I'm asking the question
No,
right.
you are asking the perfect questions. And I think it's great because it's been a common conversation with my friends lately, with guys, with people that support and don't support. I feel
Right.
like men nowadays are getting mad at the fact that women could make money faster. And I understand their struggle because sometimes men are like, well, you have it easy. You're just posting a fucking video and you're making money. And I get their frustration.
Yeah.
Like they're probably broke and they're like, this girl, she just posted this fucking picture and she's making money. So I mean, I love the fact that I was
Yeah.
a woman because it's true. I mean, men have it harder. Now you guys really gotta have a talent, really gotta work, or you're
Yeah.
gonna be a bum.
That's deep.
I'm sorry, did I say that too hard?
No, man, I love it.
That's true. But it's
Nice and
true.
blunt. No, it's
Um,
true because it's rare to see that kind of honesty though. But I mean, that's not to, and that's where I feel like, there's and I'm not really somebody that like looks at different OnlyFans and sees accounts. But I mean, you can see elements of this in Instagram too. Like there's certain people who put a work ethic behind what they do versus
yeah,
people who just kind of are expecting people to give money, and it shows. And I feel like that takes it beyond someone just sharing their body on the internet. Like there's an art
yeah.
to it. There's more of like a discipline to it.
There's
And it's attractive.
that's another thing I was gonna say. So, um, everybody has their own energy they could sell. Everybody in their own way has their own attraction. But you also have to have a strategy. How are you going to
Right.
sell it? How are you going to sell yourself? How are you going to attract your customers? How are you going to maintain your customers?
Mhm.
Everything is a strategy. It's not just, oh, she's cute, she's making money. No. How are you delivering your message? How are you presenting your photos? Do you look classy? Do you look sassy? Do you look sexy? Or do you want to be the cute? Like everything has a train of thought. And so it is a business. I treat my business, my brand, myself as a business. And I am very lucky to have that train set because I know a lot of pretty girls, beautiful, gorgeous women that won't make the same kind of money because they're not making the same kind of effort. Or vice versa. Men don't have to sell themselves, but there's always like other things that men could be doing. And I feel like crypto is another perfect example. If you really want to be making easy money, learn how to fucking do Bitcoin. And I know it crashed, whatever. It's another conversation. But same thing could happen with OnlyFans. It could fucking crash tomorrow. Now you're out. So what's your backup? Are you smart? Do you have investments? Blah, 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 blah. And so there it is. I feel like that's why I treat it like a business because you have to have several, things going on.
No, absolutely.
Gemini.
And I appreciate the hustle. Like people who are 100% authentic too, and whatever they do, like, and the reason why I asked that is in reference, which I feel like a lot of people don't realize is a Saturn Aquarius issue, where you've seen more than ever, like that question, like, oh, would you marry her if she had OnlyFans, or would you, men kind of holding that over as far as, but see, let me not say men because it's not all men, because you have certain men who are behind the camera shooting, you know what I'm saying? You have certain men
editors
or managing accounts, you know what I mean? So
there's all
like,
kinds of jobs for men. And we
right.
have this conversation with my boyfriend all the time. I told him we should start a podcast because it's hilarious. He's like, also, there's men that could have like the personal trainers, the massages. There's always like these guys, like the pool guy. The fucking there's all these jobs men could take just to keep fucking women. And it's hilarious. We talk about it all the time. So like valet parking. We were talking about those things. What jobs do guys take or young men take to like, it's a fuck boy job.
That's funny.
But it's okay. You gotta hustle and I respect it. We all go through phases. And at the end of the day, we get to choose if we want to evolve. I could have a deadline. Maybe like next year I don't want to do it. So I have to set a goal and that's it. Right now, I'm just gonna juice it. We don't know how the economy is gonna go. So I'm gonna do what I have to do to survive, to invest, to keep going. But of course, I do plan on having a deadline for my OnlyFans. And Playboy, I feel like it's temporary. Obviously, like we don't stay young forever. It's only like I understand the logic of like if this is my time, cool, I'm gonna take advantage of it. And so when the time is gone, I said at least I did it, and then I'm happy with what I did.
I appreciate your honesty talking to me about this too, and the reason why I'm asking is what advice would you have for people, men or women, but specifically women, who they have that ultimatum held towards them, right? Like obviously you don't seem like the person who would stop doing what you want to do, but how do you deal with that type of energy? Or because you probably compromise too in a certain way, but like what do you feel about that?
How do I feel about what part?
Just like as far as like if you ever dealt with certain people who are like, oh, if you do this, then I can't do this, or what's the way? What's the way? I'm not really asking if you compromise as far as like,
Oh, okay.
right. How do you maintain the confidence to still like, or what's the good way to compromise? Because obviously sometimes people can compromise too, but
are you talking about in my relationship?
no, like in general, like as far as like in general, like if you were dealing with, like if someone was dealing with someone like that, or as far as like being given ultimatums, right? Is it yeah.
It's so funny because I think I started this year with an ultimatum. I feel like 2023 has that energy. It's like, are we or are we not? Let's go.
That's true.
And which is the main reason why I'm here on this platform right now talking to you. I'm like, am I gonna do this or not?
Right.
So ultimatums are important because we need to stop being scared in general. So if you're gonna do something like that, don't take it back. Own it. It becomes part of who you are. Like I'm not gonna deny to myself what I'm doing, but I also don't think I'm doing anything wrong, or else I wouldn't be doing it. So if I believe in myself and I'm okay, and I know I'm not hurting anyone, I'm good. There's nothing wrong with it, and nobody's gonna make me feel horrible about it.
That's what's
I used to have. It's so funny because it's like even when I was younger, even when I didn't do OnlyFans, I just started OnlyFans in 2020. But even before that, I used to have a nonprofit where I built homes in Guatemala and did all these things for the community. And I was 23 years old, busting my ass to do the best, and people still judged me. It's not done it, and it's not done it right, or you're not doing it.
wow. I didn't know that.
Judged regardless. And
Wow.
I'm proud of all those years because I did so much at a young age. Now I'm enjoying my sensuality as a woman now that I'm older.
Yeah.
And I'm taking advantage because I know I'm going to get old. And eventually I'm going to look back and just be happy for what I did.
So that's actually what inspired me to say, y'all do everything, because you have your store, you model, you've acted, but specifically, the fundraiser you did for Guatemala, that was actually how that's one of the first things I saw when shout out to Esco, he had introduced me to you. And I really captivated me. I thought that was amazing. I thought you were like a superhero, like for you to be able to organize that and everything.
We did start the foundation in 2015, and then our last trip was in 2019. So we did it for a couple of years. It started off as a toy. We used to collect toys and school supplies for the kids in the villages.
Okay.
So every like Christmas, we will send things and send things. Again, thanks to my parents because my parents are very connected with their culture. So we would always send our stuff. And then I created like a platform for it and made it more official. And I called it Mission Guatemala. I did the graphic design
No
myself.
way. I
I
didn't
did
know
the
that.
website myself. I
That's
made it look
awesome.
legit, look like a official like well, it was an official website once I finished it and everything. So Mission Guatemala started in 2015 as a toy drive, and then it became a school supplies, and then there was a volcano eruption in 2018, and
Oh,
it destroyed a whole village, and it was horrible. A lot of people lost family and homes, so it was a big impact for the government. So then I added a link in my my Instagram and Facebook at the time, and over in literally 24 hours, we were like $60,000. I didn't imagine that. I literally told my mom, oh, I'm gonna put a link, and I think we're gonna get like at least $5,000, and we're gonna send them the money. And it was like the goal was passed like within minutes because there was no one else online that Guatemalans could trust.
right. That's
My
so
community
true.
didn't know who to send like help to. So
Yeah.
I was responsible. I was the face of Guatemala in that moment. Like, we're gonna send it to this girl.
Ladies and gentlemen,
So I
Josie.
had to make it public. I left it on the website, and then we did a whole documentary on how we built each home, how we spent the money, so
Right,
we don't
right.
get
That's
targeted.
awesome.
Because in
Yeah.
Guatemala there's a lot of fraud, there's a lot of
Yeah.
politics. So I'm like, I'm coming from LA, I'm helping. I had to explain everything in documentary. Everything was there, and it was crazy. It was the biggest project by far ever.
Please watch that. Like, you just masterclass explained Saturn in the seventh house in Aquarius. You Leo ride, like, as you were saying, I'm really mind blown because it wasn't until you kind of explained it like that that it came through. And this was before your Saturn return too. This was like you said, end of 2018, 2019. So yeah, all power to you. I love that. That was awesome. And something like that similar happened to me, and it happened so fast because it was sincere, and explained where the money was going, and what everything was doing. So I mean, it really teaches you about integrity, and
A lot.
all that. That's
We
awesome.
really did a lot for the community. And what I love the most is like my family was involved, my dad and my mom. I flew them out with me. They were part of the project. And like seeing them be so grateful that we're getting back to where they grew up and like
Hmm.
their struggles. And again, we don't come from much either. Like, we're from Koreatown. Like, it's not like we live in luxury. We're helping, and we also need help. We're
Right.
a lot. And people don't get to see that because all they see is your Instagram and you look hot. Oh, she sold her titties online. People are like, that's why I dismiss everything. I know I'm a good
So
person.
true. Yeah, that's real. I love that. So let's play the three questions game. Time definitely flew. So we'll take turns asking each other questions. Could be questions about anything. And you'll go first. So you'll ask me a question, then I'll answer, then I'll ask you a question, and then we'll go two more rounds.
Okay. I'm like, what kind of questions? Let's focus on the peace talk. First of all, I'm very excited that you're starting like more of a interview series. It is very
Thank you.
exciting. Just so everybody that tunes in, I'm usually in your ritual ceremonies.
Oh, word. That's what's
So
up.
much through like the last 2 years, I feel. So it's
Nice.
really cool to be part of the collective.
Thank you. Yeah, we're glad to have you.
It has
Yeah.
been good for my mental health. So how do you feel about like people tuning in and like giving you feedback of your like lives when you're in those moments?
Oh, it
Great
means the world.
question.
It means the world. I'll definitely say that. Because there's a lot that I guess I'm just so focused on doing I'm doing. There's a lot that I miss. And then when you all tell me what you tell me, it's just like the missing piece of the puzzle sometimes, or it just makes me aware of some stuff I could have never imagined. But yeah, um,
Wow.
very grateful
I'm
to
happy
be.
you're part of the community. It made me happy to
Thank
bring
you.
you into our Friendsgiving and introduce you to all my friends. Now they're telling me, oh my God, I want to like, it was like you were a wizard
Oh,
coming
no way.
party. And to me, it's literally when two worlds collide. My astrology friends, my like IG fashion friends. There's like different kinds of circles all coming at once. So
Yeah,
it's like it's been a lot of energy,
that's
but it
awesome.
makes me so happy.
Yeah, that's also a really good feeling too, like just watching everything come together. Well, shoot, in that case, my question for you is what's the vision you have for this year moving forward?
I'm not gonna lie, I've been all over the place because part of me is in that phase where I'm like, okay, I need to like settle down. I've been traveling too much.
Hmm.
I'm always like literally I need to stop.
I think
But
that's the most Sagittarius thing you said so far.
I traveled too much. No, and I'm grateful for that because I know I'm happy. My soul wanted to do that, but thank you guys. I'm starting to realize, okay, what do I want in my next decade? Like I did my 20s, I did
Mm,
what I wanted to do. Now that I'm 30, what do I want? I'm starting to think like, do I want kids? Do I want a family? Do I want a husband? Am I gonna like start like polishing for that?
mm,
Or am I still gonna like fully be about myself? Because to be your own self, you have to be like all about your brand. And but now I'm very concerned about like my home life
mm.
and I want to do it all. So again, I think I'm gonna become one of those moms that still have like mommy products, a mommy lifestyle. I think it's gonna help my community. It's still gonna keep me there.
Mommy products. Okay. Mommy
I
lifestyle.
told that to my boyfriend. I'm like, I know I'm not worried because when I turn up, like, first of all, a lot of my customers are moms because after the post,
Oh, there we go.
they need waist trainers and they ask me for tips on how to keep their stomach tight and all that.
Nice.
For sure, I see myself like continuing more of that and just keep sharing like what we're doing now. It helps a lot of people for like
Yeah.
to relate.
No, definitely. That's what's up. That's what's up. So, all right. That'll be
So I don't know
interesting.
if I'm gonna like settle in, but I do want to settle in now. You know what I
All right. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's great. It's great timing too. I'll say that.
mean?
We'll see. We'll definitely see. I think we're on round two.
Oh look, Elizabeth said, "Wow, Josie, you came a long way from Nuestra Isla Latina. You should be so proud of yourself." Oh my God, thank you so much. I'm curious to know if she knew about Nuestra Isla Latina after, or if she's like one of your listeners.
Oh
But
yeah.
that's
No, I
crazy.
think I tuned in. Shout
It's
out
two
to
worlds colliding.
no for sure. Oh, I see what you mean.
Nuestra Isla was the show I was in when I was 21 years old.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Yeah, see that's some lore right there. That's what's up. So
Yeah,
you're probably that's an IMDb, right?
yeah. That's
Okay.
a reality show.
Awesome. See, this is another. I don't know if it's a Leo Rising thing, but the last Leo Rising that I know that was on a reality show is a Leo King, which is awesome.
Yeah, I was basically the first runner up of the show.
Okay.
It was a big
No
show. It's like
way. That's awesome.
huge. Yeah, that's
Wow.
where most of the following came from the show and da da da.
Oh,
But it helped a lot. It really polished who I was when I was younger.
Okay, nice. That's what's up. And just getting that experience and everything too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think we're on the second round of questions.
Mm-hmm. Was it my turn to ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, uh, sorry, I'm like reading comments and I'm like, what else can I ask? No, I love that you're combining worlds. I think that's very important. And I just, how do you feel about, I was telling you this over the phone. How do you feel about now, like maybe doing it in a different settings and not just in Vegas?
Oh yeah. Definitely looking forward to vlogging as far as like hitting up doing the whole one-way ticket thing. Uh yeah. I I really just want to at one part of me wants to like figure out an approach. The other part of me is just like just wing it and do it. But yeah, for sure. I mean, first goal is to get like an office space out here at least so I can like figure out production. But yeah, I really feel like by spring I'll know exactly the approach I want to take, and then
Yeah.
uh probably just wing it anyway after that.
Yes. I always feel like the new year doesn't really start until after like winter's over.
Right.
And then
Um,
it's spring and you're like, okay, it's the Chinese New Year, the new year.
exactly. No, I love that.
I think it would be great for you to like just travel and talk to us from different places.
Okay. Yeah,
Because I think every time we're in a different location, our energy completely changes.
that's true.
So, and I have been struggling with that because I do go to different places all the time. So right now, that's why one of the main reasons I want to like settle in is just like to really have more and really have one dimension, not different dimensions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. And I love it too how I hate to be stereotypical, but I love how Sagittarius that was as far as like variety. I mean, not to say that I don't like to travel too, but um yeah, it's taken on more of a serious quality. But my next question is kind of tied into what Echo has asked. If you had to make a music album, who are three artists you'd want to work with?
Oh shit! Woo. Damn, that's I've never even heard of that. I'm just kidding. Can you sing?
They could
Well,
be
you know what's crazy? They're gonna think I'm an artist if I start talking about music. No, I've never made like music officially, but I've played around with it. Been around the music industry a lot. So I think because I love house music and like alien sound and frequency and stuff like that. Like I literally go to sleep with binaural beats and I need to heal myself every night. So I think frequencies are very important. So if I ever did music, I wanna combine the healing frequencies in my soundtracks. So
right.
whether it's a 528 hertz or whatever hertz you want to add, da, 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 play with that all the time.
Okay.
Um, and then we would want to add some like interesting. There's a lot of artists. You know, it's crazy because you know the English music, the Spanish music.
Right. That's
I
true.
know both. It's hard. Um, yeah.
Someone was remarking on that too. Like it's such a different world in the Latin market. Like y'all have like hundreds of millions of views for each song, right? Like it's just so much more lit or
Yeah.
like viewed. So that's awesome.
I'm thinking. I'm literally thinking. I'm like,
How do I say everybody?
you could have a little hip hop, a little reggaeton, a little
Yeah.
house music, a little alternative pop.
DJ Josie.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of mixture. It's like cool stuff around the world. Like you really could taste it all. You know, little jazz. You never know.
Who are like three people you'd put on a track that you wouldn't hear anywhere else?
That I wouldn't hear. They're not even known artists.
Oh, that's even perfect. It could be
Yeah. Um, just yesterday I was listening to the weirdest music. There's this one called Dream Space, and it's by like it's random. It's like random music. I love music. I think it's healing and it keeps me on track whenever I'm not okay.
Word.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
It's just like very zen, but it like takes you out of space.
Oh, that's the producer for sure.
Yeah, it's like I
Sure.
get around beats too long. So
Yeah.
it's like I love a good beat. I don't even have to say much. I'll probably just do the chorus.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Probably give like a
If you
vibe.
hear me sing, I'll just say something very, and you could, adjust the tune. And you're making me excited about this.
Oh, word. Okay.
Just kidding. But I really like. I feel like we need more of those frequencies. And what I like about it is it could be bilingual. Both people hear it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is it true that 444 hertz is the whole devil's frequency thing?
I'm big on conspiracy theories. I love conspiracy theories.
Uh,
Um, but definitely, certain hertz could change your train of thought.
oh,
I heard 808 is very bad for you because
oh,
it's,
yeah,
it's
that's true.
targeting your sacral chakra. So it's only gonna bring that kind of energy, and that's the kind of energy you feel at the club. When you're
Yeah.
at the club, you're using your sacral energy. That's why you'll hear all the 808s, all the hip hop. And what does it make you do? Want to drink and fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Sacral. That's true.
Sacral energies. There's other chakras like your heart chakra, your pineal gland, so they could open up other things, and that's why I listen to different frequencies so I could open up other things. That's
That's
why
so,
people that are in the nightlife are so stuck in the same loop: drugs and alcohol, sex, drugs and alcohol, sex,
that's so
because
true.
they're only using that frequency.
Yeah.
But that is all based on what I know because of the music productions I've been in.
Okay. That's what's up.
Like
So,
I've learned a lot about like music because of like my friends, producers, or this or that.
right.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Mhm. Like now we're talking about conspiracy theories in the comments.
The war. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going down.
It's going down, but I love these conversations. There's this meme that's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have a normal conversation," and then it's the alien. Time is an illusion. That's me.
Oh, yes.
I gotta tell your people this one time, me and you connected in the fifth dimension.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so I need to tell them this story because this is amazing. So you
Yeah.
guys know, I'm I'm a fan of the Peas Dealer. I had never met him in person. I just watched his lives, started following him on Instagram and Twitter. That's how
Okay.
much. And basically, I was just like listening and listening. But then somehow we start talking, DMing, blah blah blah. We become friends, but we've never met in real life.
Mm-mm.
So I did shrooms, and I was on my shroom trip, and I started meditating, and I could feel his energy. And I don't know where, like in my head, I'm like, it's okay, like you're gonna be fine. And so I had to text him that I'm like, you're gonna be fine. I don't know where. He's like, how do you know? And then what happened? Where were you?
I was in my room in my bed, just completely like
Hold on, guys. I'm gonna charge my phone. You could tell your story. Let me just charge my computer.
dejected.
I don't want to.
Um, in a certain way. In fact, this is the first time I'm hearing that happened like that. But yeah, Josie is kind of
What does that make me?
What does that make you? That's a really good question. Josie is definitely what's the word?
Yes. I thought you were gonna die.
Out magicked me for sure, or definitely showed me some magic because it's at a point where I had to be like, am I being trolled? Like, is she trolling me? That's why I'm glad you said it like that because I didn't know that was the sequence. But like,
Yeah,
yeah, this is a very magical woman. I will definitely say that. And
that was
the
great.
the words came at a very important time. I'll say that. I mean, nothing dangerous was about to happen, but yeah, it
You just
reminded
felt
me.
the energy, huh? It was crazy because I didn't say much. We didn't even have a conversation. There was no thread. I just wrote that word. It's gonna
Right.
be okay, and I put a little cloud emoji. I'm in the clouds right now. I'm just feeling this shit.
Yeah.
And ever since then, like I've been tapping in more into my energy, and I think I like tap into things.
Oh yeah. No, the timing was crazy. It was I feel like it was spirit trolling me through you because like it was a day where I was just kind of being really kind of being a bit of a bitch. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say that, but like
He's like, come on, dude.
I was like, universe, if I don't hear from somebody, then that means that
Spirit's like, calm
I'm
down.
I'm gonna move on. I'm not gonna carry you on. Just kind of like some sad little boy shit.
So
But
there goes my next question for you. Now that I feel like you've built more connection. I told you this on the phone. I was like, why I love our friendship, and I call it a friendship because it's so dope. I could just like text you and it's dope. I'm like, we have met so many people online, and we create virtual connections, and you were like the perfect example of a virtual connection. And it's very important because
yeah.
you built that connection with your audience. So how do you feel like knowing that you have so many connections? Sometimes I don't even want to bug you because I'm like, he's busy. He has too many connections. How do you feel? How do you divide your time?
No, that's a really good question. I'm glad you said what you said because for reference, I'm in your 11th house of friendships, so it brings context to that whole virtual 11th house Gemini swag, right? But um I like that you asked that because the vibrational dynamics I've been getting used to more that I'm awakening my soul. And I can imagine that your boyfriend feels them more sensitively having a Pisces moon because they're like the highest level of that. But, the little I feel, a lot of clairaudient telepathy. I always feel like I'm connecting with the collective as a collective and just certain like different energies. But I also feel there's a part of me that's oblivious to like or clueless to like so much of it. And I'm barely just realizing so. So I really appreciate you asking that because I think I'm coming into fully getting ready to fully understand it like never before.
It's a lot. Personally, I like that's why I admire that from you because you're dividing your energy with so many people. Like you also, it's your job to do like readings. So
Yeah.
you're giving your energy to every phone call, every meeting, every podcast, every live stream, every moon thing you do. Like I'm just like, wow. Are you a generator?
Oh, so you know human design. Someone wanted to ask.
Are
What
you a
is it?
generator?
I'm a projector.
Okay. I'm surprised.
Are
I'm
you
like,
a generator?
I'm
Manifesting generator?
just manifester.
You're just manifester. Oh, that's what's up.
Manifester. One
What's
third.
that like?
You manifest. I'm just kidding.
That's what's up. Is it is
No,
it that simple? Okay.
I've learned because I'm the one third manifester, which means you're an emotional manifester.
Oh, okay.
And I've learned that if I'm not okay emotionally, Mars and Cancer, I can't do anything. So I need to
Oh,
make sure I'm okay. I need to reset. That's what I said. My lifestyle has always been about resetting, staying focused, and you get what you want.
so manifestors manifest though, right? That's so
You
awesome.
can like literally think your life into existence.
Oh, that's so lit.
You know what's
I love
crazy? That like that's why I always thought like I'm always thinking people could get it, but no.
that.
I thought you could get it. But
Yeah,
no, seriously, I'm like, hey, stop, you do that.
I love
But
it.
I love people that are generators though. I look up to them because they get shit done. So I really thought you were a generator because you're always generating things.
It's a thing about projectors where we're pretty much kind of treated like generators until we have to be like we're not generators. You have to be a projector. So it was the huge lesson. But yeah, I mean, I definitely appreciate generators too. I feel like it's a good combo. But yeah, reflectors, manifestors. I heard those are also pretty rare, and that's awesome. The way you said that, I really like that. Um, so yeah, Josie, this is amazing. Thank you so much for joining us.
I love this conversation. It's like a variety show.
Yeah,
We
it's a
had a
little bit of
variety
everything.
of topics.
Yeah, which is I love. Like I knew this was going to be awesome, just off of the
I
vibes.
hope your viewers didn't get bored and they enjoyed our topics.
Yeah, no, it was fun, and the time really, literally just flew by.
I know I keep talking. You got me hyped. But
That's okay.
overall, I'm just very honored to be here and share this. And hopefully, you keep getting more viewers and they get to know about you because I know that's gonna happen. And it's just like you're here already. Your energy is expanding as we go. So I'm
I
very
love
proud of
that. Thank you so much. And do you have any final words of? Well, I put your Instagram, by the way. So if there's any way, if you have any more links you wanted to shoot or share, or there's any way people could reach you, please let us know. But other than that, do you have any words of wisdom for us?
the wisdom, the downloads.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Before I say the words of wisdom, yesterday the energy was very heavy, and I just don't want to go back to escapism or disassociating. We can't be doing that in 2023.
I feel you.
So yesterday I started painting for the first time, and it was amazing. I like tuned out everything that I was storming out about, and it was like stroking away, and it was like the best form of therapy that I needed. And I had a girl like doing it with me too. We are both like, I'm like, this is helping so much. We're literally like healing and processing most of them. Things
That's
are always happening to us constantly. We just need to process them sometimes. And as soon as we process it, we get a clearer vibe, and then we get to make a decision of whatever we're storming out about. Being calm and collective, and get back into our power.
Mm,
So I guess the words of wisdom is just like we have to take our energy back sometimes, protect ourselves, and really harness that and stay in our path that we desire, of course, and don't worry
beautiful.
about anything else.
I love that. Thank you very much. Make sure you guys check her out if you haven't. I have the links in the description box below. So, other than that, y'all have a blessed week. Josie, thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you so much for having me. It was an honor. I can't wait to share this and have other people become part of your community.
Beautiful.
Love you
Peace
guys. It
out.
was so fun having you guys and seeing your comments and interactions. And it's fun. Los veo pronto.
Have a blessed week. And until next time, peace out.